Okay, with all the valve cover and CCV baffle issues and having the oil getting sucked into the intake and everything, I bought an oil catch can. It's a little cheapy from Amazon. I'll try to put a link in the description. But I already started to pre-mount it the other day, but the hose that they sent was the wrong size for what I needed, so I ended up picking up some more, some bigger hose. So this will be the first one we replace. I'm going to replace this hose and this one also with the same. Doesn't want to come off because it's so hard and cold. Of course, I forgot to get extra hose clamps, so I'll just reuse these. Okay, so today it's going to be a quick one with just trying to hook up this oil catch can. I'll show you some of the stuff I did to mount it and some of the extra stuff I had to pick up, but it was a little cheap catch can I got off of Amazon. I'll try to put a link in the description or somewhere. But here we go. This is the so this is the catch can I got. I want to say it was like 30 bucks or something on Amazon. Probably came straight from China. Falling apart when I got it, but it came with this hose and a couple clamps, and then two different sets of came with two different size fittings. I need to use the larger ones because that's the same size that's on the Jimny. Came with Teflon tape and some O-rings. It has instructions, but they kind of suck. But the O-rings, doesn't tell you anything about it, but you have to put the O-ring on the base there. Just stretch it on. And it came with this aluminum strap mount with no hole in the top. I drilled the hole in it. But right here, this windshield washer hose used to run through this hole here, and it was almost big enough for the nutsert that I put in, but I had to open it up with a 1/2-inch drill bit to make it fit. So I just rerouted the hose on the outside, so that way I could put this down in here just like this. That way it'd be out of the way. So these O-rings, you just stretch them over, which seems and then wrap some Teflon on the threads. So once that's on, I'm gonna put it back in here. Because it's so close to this fender edge, I ended up having to cut the flat washer so it could fit down in there. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. See how it's tight against. So in this part, I have nutserts that have used the 1/2-inch hole, outer diameter, but I didn't have any bolts that fit any of them that had their smaller actual thread size, so I had to use this bigger nutsert with a big bolt. If I had a smaller one, it would have cleared the outer fender better, but it works. Alright, let's route some hose. So this one here is the inlet, so this one will come from the valve cover, so we'll probably run it around here and up to the valve cover. And then this one is the outlet. We're just going to go to the outlet here, so we'll rerun that one, and then I should have enough extra hose that will replace this dry broken one, and this one also that runs back to the intercooler. So let's go ahead and replace that stuff now. Alright, well, let's get running the first one. Oh, and in case anybody was wondering, this is 1/2-inch fuel hose, which is actually, it's a little bit smaller than I should be using, but it was the only hose I could find locally that would fit this stuff. So I ended up buying some 1/2-inch fuel line or fuel hose. It was the only thing I could find local that was the right size. So it's just it's like 2 millimeters smaller than what I need. So I'm gonna put a data if I can get it to come out. Just to help, of course I put way too much, but just a little bit of lube to help it. Help it slide on. And of course, the O'Reilly's where I got this from were all out of worm clamps, so I got to reuse a lot of these compression ones for now. Let's go under there like the factory did. That's gonna be fun. This one would have been a lot easier to do before I put the intercooler back on, that's for sure. grouting and stuff's so tight I don't even think I need hose clamps. Those little clamps that came with it are probably going to be too small. Yep. Oh, I'll have to get some bigger ones. Alright, let's do this one now. And you can see that one, I think, has actually got a hole. Yeah, I can see daylight through it. It's got a hole in it. And it's really gummy and gross. There we go. I don't know if y'all can hear that in the video, but it sounds like at least 3 of my neighbors now have chickens or roosters, and they're having a battle to see who's gonna keep making noise the longest. couldn't tell, my blade on my knife is super dull. Need to put a fresh one on it, but I'll try and reuse this foam padding. Help protect the hose. Gotta keep your hose protected. Alright, well, that's everything replaced to put the foam back on it. Got everything routed back the way it was. I need to get clamps for these two. The little worm clamps that it came with were too small, but it's on there so tight that it's not gonna move. And I guess I'll show you something else I did the other day. I had these 2 4-inch pods and this 20-inch light bar I've had in the garage for a couple years now. I bought to put on my trailer and never did, and so I decided to just throw them on here real quick, since the 20-inch bar fit on this bull bar real easy. It was like a perfect fit for it. So I put those on there, and I just ran the harness back in behind everything, and I mounted the relay. You can't see it because the jack's in the way. I mounted the relay right there, grounded it to the screw for the other relay, and ran it right inside the cab. Just a little look at it after I ran the buffer over it real quick and waxed it. Shined up pretty good. There's still some bad spots in it. Like you can still see where the roof rack was. You can see this one better. I could probably probably need to wet sand it a little bit or something to get those spots out, but I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna put the roof rack back on. You can see some little touch-ups and stuff now, but the paint's in really good shape. I'm gonna try to eventually pop the door or open the door up and see if I can pop these back out. One here too. I still need to finish removing this sticker. I didn't even bother trying yet. So here's a little spray box I made out of an old broken cart and some scrap sheet metal. But it's a spray box I made for my wife to paint tumblers. But the fans probably need to that. But painted the spare tire holder. I just kind of cleaned up the loose rust that was on it. Painted the bolts too. Alright, well here you can see, now that we're in some better light, you can see I just cleaned the loose surface rust off of it and painted it. It's nothing spectacular. Just to make it look a little nicer, even though nobody will ever see it. So here we go. looks. There we go. I definitely understand why the tail gets dented. There we go. It's all buttoned up now. Alright, so I'd already set the rack back on. I didn't get any video of me washing it, but it's like an anodized aluminum. The bases are cast, and I don't know what kind of coating's on them, but the whole thing was kind of like stained. So I just sprayed it down with some purple powder and wiped it down real quick and put it back on. I think eventually I'll either pull the whole thing apart and powder coat it. What color, I have no clue, but I just threw it back on real quick to get it back on there. It probably won't stay there, but we'll try. Alright, so this is going to wrap this video up. I'm just going to drive it around real quick in the yard. I had more video of me driving it up the road, but I forgot I had the radio on, so I didn't want to take a chance of the audio getting flagged and turning the audio off to the video, so I just deleted all that. But yeah, so I'm just driving around the yard real quick in this, and in the next video I'll have like a road test and actually get it out on the highway and talk about my ordeal with getting tags for it and all the pain, all the headache I went through with trying to get that straight. But yeah, so this is the end. Like, share, subscribe. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Sounds like the hub adapter is rubbing the column or something. Something's making noise in the steering column. What's that? Jeez. Actually gets moving pretty good. I have to say I'm pretty impressed with it now that I know you gotta let it warm up, and that well, and then now that I've given it a tune up and stuff. Alright, well, let's do a little walk around of this thing now that it's all cleaned up and ready for the road. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and hopefully the next video will be a road trip, dropping off some cars in Indiana for a buddy, and then maybe we'll have some more Jimny content.